In only 5 more months, he was ready to sit the exams in Persian and in Sanskrit. And he went on. He took the languages in India like other British people took to drink. And he learnt Multani, Punjabi, he learnt Telugu, he learnt Balochi. He learnt and he learnt and he learnt. And he learnt also other interesting things. Like most British soldiers, he took a bubu, an Indian courtesan, to warm his bed, to look after his household, manage his servants, bear his children or not bear his children, depending on their arrangement. But because he learnt their languages, he could really speak to them and listen. And he learnt that British officers were a standing joke amongst the women. Standing, not for long, yeah. Like village cockerels, good at puffing up their feathers, but nothing else. And he learnt that all Hindu youths were trained in the art of making love. He, probably alone of all his compatriots, learnt that the act of love is a slow race. And so he learnt and learnt. Well, then his regiment was posted to Sindh. General Sir Charles Napier had recently extended British East India Company control and conquered the province of Sindh. Tens of thousands of miles of territory at the cost of tens of thousands of native lives, because the people he fought were using 18th century matchlocks. And he did all these tens of thousands of miles and tens of thousands of fatalities. He announced this with only one word, a Latin verb in the past first person. The verb is peccare, to sin. He wrote back to England, peccavi, I have sinned. He had all those deaths. But Richard travelled up to work with him, and he got his first staff job. He was interpreter at court-martials. But then Napier noticed this man was talented and began to give him espionage jobs, intelligence gathering. Now, the way the British full stop did intelligence gathering is you brought your native and you got a native, sit down there, that's a native over there, this is a British officer over here. Keep it very clear, very distinct. And say, now you, I understand you know some things, and I want to know, what are you going to say about that then, eh? And that's what you did. That veil again, they probably learned nothing. That's not what Richard did. This is when Mirza Abdullah was born. He got a false beard, he stained his skin with walnut juice, and he went around Karachi, asking questions. And he would sit in the squares and play chess with the savants and the scholars. And they were impressed by his knowledge of the Quran. And he would ask the traders this and that and that and this. And then he would walk around Karachi at night, and if he heard singing and dancing coming from inside a house, he would knock at the door. His only ticket of admission, a clean turban and a polite bow. And he would go inside, and he would join the festivities.